Hello everyone, Vincent Teo from HDTV Test here. Reports are coming out from South Korea, that's where Samsung is based, that the company is going to launch a new micro-LED TV later this week. Now, according to the Korea Herald, Samsung is going to announce a new micro-LED display in a webinar on Thursday. And the exact specifications of this product is still unknown, but industry insiders think that it will be a product that is geared towards home entertainment, so maybe in the size of the television. Now, I know I have done a previous video saying that micro LED is currently a pipe dream, and maybe some of you will look at this news and come and tell me that, Vincent, I knew you were wrong all this time. It is not a pipe dream, micro LED is coming. But I think, before we do that, let's wait and be realistic about what we can expect from this new micro LED TV from Samsung. I think we need to know, first of all, the size, the price, whether the resolution is stuck at 4K or 8K, and also whether this product actually can be, bought, in stores and can go into a domestic environment without you having to pay an arm and a leg for it. The thing with micro LED is that I know many of you really like its characteristics. It is extremely appealing to have a display technology that is similar to OLED in the sense of its self-emissiveness. So from the point of view of micro LED, it will also be able to turn every single one of its pixels on and off independently of each other, thus giving rise to the very appealing attributes of true blacks. It can generate true inky 0 candelas per square meter blacks that won't actually contaminate or pollute any neighboring pixels. And it is also capable of really wide viewing angles, really vibrant colors, and on top of that, because micro LED is meant to use inorganic material, they are supposed not to be as prone, or they are maybe even immune to burn-in that has affected OLED displays. And the power consumption is also meant to be on the low side, making it very power efficient to run. But I think there are a few problems with micro LEDs, as I have actually said in my previous video when LG launched its 163-inch magnet micro LED display, in the sense that currently the technology doesn't really allow the pixel pitch to be shrinked to be as small as to accommodate a 4K size at a regular, say, 55-inch or 65-inch screen, because of just how the LED wafers and the pick and place technology is being done at this moment. I don't know whether when Samsung launch this new micro LED TV, indeed if they actually launch it or announce it, that they will be using a different technology that will allow them to actually shrink the pixel pitch and to try and create a higher resolution. Now, the other thing is mainly price, really. I think the yield for micro LED TVs are so low, and the whole manufacturing process is so time consuming that I think even the cheapest micro LED display that you can buy from a big name, let's say Samsung in terms of the wall, or Sony in terms of their crystal LED TV, and LG in terms of their magnet, they are going to cost at least 6 figures. And this is obviously for a really big size, and we're not talking 55 inches, we're not talking 65 inches, we're talking above 100 inches. So let's say Sony's crystal LED, when I visited them last year, when traveling was still largely unrestricted, the price for a 146-inch crystal LED produced by Sony was around 350,000 euros. Now, I haven't actually checked the price since. I think the display is not actually listed on Amazon, so I couldn't actually set up a price history checker or price drop alert on Camel, even though I would like to actually own one. But that is the cost of entry we are talking about. And even, let's say, Samsung's The Wall for 146-inch display, we're talking around 300,000 US dollars. So, the barrier to entry is extremely high for the common consumers. And I think, these displays will only start becoming feasible, will start making sense only at extremely large size where OLED, conventional LCDs and mini LED TVs cannot compete at that size, then micro LED will make sense. And it is not only me with the opinion that micro LED is currently not suitable for mainstream. Display supply chain consultants at DSCC, have compiled a report stating that, micro LED at its current state, is not going to be mainstream anytime soon because of its very high retail price compared with some excellent consumer level displays that we already have on the market. Let's say mini LED TVs, let's say OLED TVs, and also with Samsung display themselves. Remember, micro LED is being pushed by Samsung Visual Display, which is a separate division. Samsung Visual Display is responsible for making these TVs that you buy, and they will be responsible for Samsung's mini LED next year, and they will be responsible for this micro LED announcement that will happen on Thursday, apparently. Whereas, there's another division called Samsung Display, who is responsible for the OLEDs that you find in Samsung's phone, even in Apple iPhones. And also they will be responsible for QD OLED. Obviously, they're not going to call it QD OLED. They're going to call it QD display. They really want to get away from the OLED term, which has sort of become synonymous with another one of their arch rivals. So from that point of view, I think the market is going to be extremely competitive next year in terms of really high quality consumer television products that we can buy. We have OLED, we have mini LED TVs, we have potentially QD OLEDs, and who knows whether Hisense will continue with their dual layer LCDs. So it is extremely competitive on that front, and I don't think micro LED TVs will be able to compete, first of all in terms of the size, and secondly in terms of the resolution. Now from the resolution point of view, my opinion that 8K is not really that important at this moment in time. There's barely any 8K sources, so I don't think 8K is critical to the success of any product. But when you are trying to charge such a premium price on a micro LED TV, I think 8K becomes more and more important. People will expect a higher resolution to try and go with this sort of extremely high price that a company is going to be charging. So these are questions that are always on my mind when I think about micro LED TVs, and that is not to mention the fact that because micro LEDs are done in modules, you have to assemble them together to make a watchable display, and there will be seams, and how you make it as seamless as possible from a normal viewing distance is another unanswered question that remains to be seen whether it can be solved. So let's see what Samsung brings on Thursday, and hopefully I will have some better news to tell you. But I think let's keep our expectations realistic for now, whether it will be a price that we can afford, what sort of resolution it will be coming out at, and what sort of sizes. And remember, Samsung has announced a variety of micro LED TV sizes, ranging from 75 inch, 88 inch, 93 inch, 110 inch. And where are they? Can you buy one? Say by walking into a retail store? The answer is no. And they have been vaporware for the past few years, and let's see whether Thursday's announcement will be any different. If you'd like to watch some of our other videos on next-gen display technologies, I created a playlist here if you'd like to click on it, and I will see you in the next video.